Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the Football Brotherhood. I'm joined with my brother Christian to talk about Bruno Fernandes, my guy, winning PFA Player of the Season. Christian, how are we, mate?
I'm all right, bro. Looking forward to another weekend of fixtures. Can't wait. And yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it, to get into, because we've kind of flirted with this idea. I know you actually put some bets on, didn't you, lad? So you kind of called this before anybody else. You got some very good odds on it, didn't you?
I did. I placed it after the derby purely because I thought Declan Rice winning it is a abomination against football. So I said to
And Haaland was stuck in the mud.
Yeah, Haaland had an awful derby game. Bruno had, I thought he was man of the match in that derby. And I don't believe Declan Rice is a worthy winner of the award, whatever happens. So I put a 10 quid bet on Bruno Fernandes winning PFA Player of the Season at 1,000 to 1, 100 to 1, winning a grand back. I have cashed that bet out now because I don't trust United. And if United drop to fifth, they'll never win it. So I have cashed that out.
Didn't you accidentally put it on twice as well?
No, I did. I put a tenner on, but Bet365 split it to a fiver each.
Anyway, right. Okay, I'm with you.
Enough of my betting habits. Christian, I want to talk to you first because obviously, look, I have got a horse in the race here. I know you're a City fan, but you're a very fair City fan. Talk to me about, you've sort of got a horse in the race, really. To be honest, let's just preempt this conversation with, in my opinion, Bruno. These would be my votes right now. Would be Bruno Fernandes first. It would be Erling Haaland second, and it'd be Ryan Cherky third. So you've got two horses in the race, as far as I'm concerned. However, Bruno is my number one, and we're going to get into the details of that. But because you have got a little bit of a horse in the race, you're also a City fan. This is a United player. Talk to me about the principle of Bruno Fernandes winning it. How does it make you feel, and do you think he deserves it?
I don't mind it. I said it a few weeks back that I didn't mind. I wouldn't begrudge him getting his hands on this award, and especially this year because, similar to you, Alex, I align in a lot of your views. I don't think Declan Rice has done anything near to deserve it. Erling Haaland is a bit of a separate conversation because I feel like we need to wait and see what he does in these key weeks. And, the race with Arsenal, if he goes and blitzes it, we've seen he got us 3 points over the line against Arsenal, then Burnley, back-to-back, looking like we're struggling for goals again somehow, and he comes up with like he was doing at the start of the year. So if he then pulls us through, I think the conversation becomes a little bit more interesting. But as of right now, and what Bruno Fernandes has achieved this season, I don't think anyone can really begrudge him at all at this stage. I think he's had a remarkable season, and especially coming off the back of last year and playing under Amorim, which it just looked a disaster. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I want to keep my eye on it in the next few weeks, and especially Haaland. Cherky, Alex, I think Cherky's had an incredible debut season in the Prem. I just think it's a little too soon for them conversations, to be fair. He's been brilliant. I think just let him keep kicking on. But for me, he was out the team, and Pep didn't really trust him for the first half of the season. Therefore, I don't think it's right to put him in them conversations just yet.
Yeah. Look, I mean, it's purely from a metric of somebody's got to come third, and I would lean to him over Semenyo. I don't believe it would be Saliba if anybody's going in from Arsenal. It would not be Declan Rice.
I hear you.
Not one of their attackers. So look, let's focus on Bruno Fernandes. It's the title of the video. He is the bookie's favourite now, despite obviously I've cashed out. I'm very happy with my cash out, by the way, but I have cashed out, so I've not got any monetary on this. But he is the bookie's favourite now, Christian. He's overtook Declan Rice, which is interesting. Arsenal now probably second favourites for the title, being it's in City's hands as well as theirs. So let's go with the pros and cons of the Bruno winning this award, right? Because that's what everybody's doing at the moment, and we've got major media outlets. Should we get into the assist record, Christian?
Let's have a look at it, mate. Let's have a look. So, I mean, the assist record stands at 20 assists. My guy, Kevin De Bruyne, and you got, of course, Thierry Henry, the Arsenal great, also on 20 assists. Now, a big thing that has drawn a lot of attention, Alex, is these open play assists. And we've seen it being, put in the media, and it's getting shared all around Instagram and Twitter. Obviously, it's sort of pissing off United fans. I thought it'd be a little good topic for us to get into, especially because I can add a little bit from De Bruyne and stick a boot in here and there. So, mate, just tell me your thoughts on this.
Okay, my initial thoughts on the open play assist. I think it's the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard in my life. Christian, I've never heard of open play assist till this season. I'm not that, I'm not that United fan where it's like, woe is me and there's an agenda. However, I'm all ears for hearing cons for Bruno winning PFA Player of the Season, right? love a fair conversation. I do think there's some myself. Manchester United are going to play 40 games this year. Bruno Fernandes has missed 3 of them. So I think Bruno's going to play 37 games. That is a thing. Bruno's not banged up. He gets every single midweek off, whereas you'd have to say Haaland definitely hasn't. Rice definitely hasn't. Usually PFA player of the seasons aren't getting every single midweek off. Now we know why he is, because we came 15th last year under Ruben Amorim. So I'm all ears on like whatever criticisms people have got. Open play assists. Let's talk about this. We've got a tweet from ESPN. We've got a Sky graphic as well. This tweet from ESPN says that Thierry Henry got 20 assists, 20 open play assists. Now, can I just say, I think Thierry Henry is an all-time great. I think he's an amazing footballer. Probably top 5 all-time in the Prem. Maybe top 3, to be honest.
Yeah.
But this is false. Now, Sky Sports themselves posted Thierry Henry's assists from that season. So I thought, you know what, right, I've got nothing else better to do. I'm going to go and watch him. I can't remember 2002. I was 12.
Yeah.
I went and watched him. And as I'm clicking through them, I'm seeing these open play assists. Now, I don't know what you think, Christian. I'm going to get your take in a minute. Sometimes open play assists are they're a bit fugazi, man. Like sometimes an open play assist can be a 2-yard pass to somebody from 30 yards. So I'm like, look, I don't get it anyway. Anyway, getting to Thierry Henry's assists, all 20 from open play. Well, that's weird because against Everton, he swings a corner in and Pascal Segan headed it in. And then I'm like, right, well, that's 1 from a corner. I kept watching. There's a game against your boys, a 5-1 drubbing for Arsenal. And Thierry Henry swings a corner in and Sol Campbell gets his big head on it. So that's another one. So I don't know where these graphics have come from, but they are false. This isn't opinion-based. Thierry Henry got 2 assists off corners that season. Now, I know Bruno's got his fair share this season. However, just sticking with the open play, I sat through all 20 of Thierry Henry's assists that season. There's one in there that's open play, which is a 1-yard pass to Robert Pires from 20 yards, and Robert Pires slaps it in the top corner against Bolton, I think it is. That's an open play assist. Are you telling me that 1-yard pass to Pires is a more impressive assist than Bruno swinging in a corner straight onto Casemiro's head in a crowded box? It's utter bollocks. Open play assist. If anything, if you can swing a corner onto somebody's head accurately, I think that's an amazing skill. Anybody who's took corners in their life at any level knows you can overhit them, you can underhit them. How many corners hit the first man? We're always on at pro footballers. You should get docked wages. So I'm not here to talk about Thierry Henry as a bad footballer. I think he's amazing. So's De Bruyne, by the way. But I'm here to tell you that 1, that statistic is false, and 2, open play assists is the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard. Last thing on this, I know it was a bit of a rant. Bruno Fernandes, 19 at the minute, right, Christian? He got an assist for Patrick Dorgu's 25-yard volley in the top corner at Arsenal. Now, obviously, you've probably not seen the goal since the day it happened, Christian.
Yeah.
But he turned it round the corner 2 yards to Patrick Dorgu. That's an open play assist.
Yeah, of course,
People are docking. So what they're saying is, that's fine. A 2-yard layoff to Patrick Dorgu, who smacked it in the top corner, that's impressive. But swinging in corners onto Casemiro's head from 35, 40 yards away, that's not. What a load of bollocks. What's your take on the open play assist and obviously the lies from ESPN and Sky?
Yeah, it's interesting you saying that, Alex. I didn't know. I've not had the time to go through it and check it. Obviously, I appreciate you've gone and done that, so fair play. It's interesting. You make some good points on open play assists and the focus being put on it, where you can get your cheap shot ones from 20 yards and they've just nudged it to someone. I do appreciate that, Alex, but I think to add balance to the argument, I think it's important because, look, we have been hammering Arsenal, for instance, all year with their bullshit corner routine, right? So, Alex, let's just play devil's advocate here and say Declan Rice, I know they predominantly nod on from a corner or knock back across, so he wouldn't be credited with the assist anyway from a lot of these corners that have happened. Say they were scoring direct off them, which you have been doing, okay? Now, if Declan Rice had cheap racked up a lot of assists by doing that, me and you would be on here and we would be talking about it. So I do think it's important we had that balance, but you have got a fair point, Alex, and I think where I do feel a little bit sorry for Bruno is I just wanted to make a comp to Yaya Toure. Now, you do get a lot of these nostalgia merchants, and they'll bring up things from the past, and that's why it's interesting that you went and did your research on that Thierry Henry season. Now, Yaya Toure that year, we know, was absolutely phenomenal, posting unbelievable numbers. But I knew for a fact he took a lot of set pieces that season. But no one really wants to come with that. So therefore, it is a bit of a harsh one that we're hitting Bruno with it. For, let's be fair, it is just a remarkable season that he's had. So I'm a bit mixed with it, but I'm a bit more balanced than you. You obviously think it's complete bullshit. I still think it's a conversation that should be had. But I don't think we should be criticising Bruno with the Thierry Henry comp. I think if you look at Kevin De Bruyne's season when he posted 20 assists, the way in which he played, there's probably only Messi that can do that with a football, Alex, where he can pass and take 4 defenders, a whole back line out of the game. So I don't think it's fair to compare to him, one of the best passers I've ever seen in the Premier League. So yes, he wrapped up 20 assists in a different manner. But if Bruno goes and gets 23, and it was that he was putting it on Casemiro's head every single time, he still deserves the respect.
Yeah, no, 100%. Let's just start with the Arsenal thing, because I do think there's a element of a good point. Here's my counter argument to that. My issue with the corners from Arsenal's perspective is it's their offense. I've no issue with Saka. Saka and Rice are great corner takers. I actually compliment them both. I think they are fantastic corner takers.
Yeah.
My issue is not with them two. It's with the Arsenal approach to needing corners to generate offense.
Yeah, okay.
For me, corners, I like that people now are actually not. They're not just I remember for ages it was just a thing United did. We just swung them in. If nothing come from it, fuck it. I don't think we scored off like 90 straight corners in one season once. It was a joke. I'm kind of glad now that what I will say is Arsenal have brought the attention to it where you can win games off this on off days, by the way. And United have been as maybe the best team now. I bet we're probably up there with Arsenal now with goals off them because they've dried up and we are on a tear. We being Casemiro and Bruno. So for me, the argument is more my issue with a club like Arsenal, a top team, the team that are top of the Premier League, second, having the reliance on corners. With Saka and Rice, I compliment them too. They're fantastic at what they do. I just don't think they're fantastic at much else, but that's a different conversation. Bruno Fernandes is maximizing set pieces, but set pieces aren't easy to take. This isn't. Let's use an argument of 2 strikers. Let's not even name them. Let's just go player A, player B. Player A gets 20 goals. Player B gets 20 goals. Player B is a penalty taker. Player A isn't. If player B scores 10 pens and he gets 20 in total, those 20 goals are not the same weight to me. Now, you've still got to score your pens, but if you get 20 without penalties, that carries weight. A penalty is an 85, 90% shot for good strikers. A corner is not. You're not scoring.
Well, Alex, I mean,
easy to score off.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Alex, we were talking before, weren't we, about that ridiculous season with Yaya Toure, by the way, was the same year that Luis Suarez decided to bag 30. He got 31 goals and 11 assists that year. Now, Yaya Toure, he bagged 20 goals, but I think it was around the 10 or 11 number, which were set pieces, and he was our penalty taker as well. So he scored 4 free kicks, and then the rest were penalties. Now, if you look at that with Luis Suarez, obviously Gerrard was on pens that season. He might have took 1 or 2 when Gerrard wasn't on the pitch, but predominantly he wasn't even the penalty taker that season, which is insane. I mean, not only that, 11 assists as well. He was creating as well. That guy had the ability of a false 9, but he was a clinical number 9 as well. It was ridiculous. So yeah, it does hold a lot of weight when you're taking out the set pieces.
Just on Torre though, with the 20 league goals, right? So he scored 6 pens, so he got 14. I don't discount the 4 free kicks. Mate, free kicks are not easy to score off. Like,
not
if
so,
anything,
yeah.
That's a compliment to Torre. That's not, he got 10 in open play. No.
Another string to his bow.
14 plus 6 pens. You ain't knocking free kicks off, just like you're not knocking corners off Bruno, in my opinion. Look, that's just my take. I'm interested.
I do think it's a little bit different. I think corners you can get a little bit more of a cheap assist. I think mastering scoring 25-yard free kicks is in a bit of a different ballpark. I do hear your point because, I mean, the one thing we are pissed off at most, I mean, my club is probably one of the worst teams at taking advantage of corners. Do you know how frustrating it is to watch Bruno Fernandes pick someone out every single time? I mean, Casemiro, he's got fans chanting in the crowd to give him another year contract. This is all down to Bruno Fernandes' ability to put the ball on his head. And fair play, he does convert it, but that guy's general play is not Premier League level right now or Manchester United standard. I've seen him getting caught out all the fucking time. But the reason he's getting this is because Bruno's ability. So I will give the guy his credit. And I think where Bruno has been amazing this year, Alex, is his slowing down of the game in the final third has really impressed me. I thought he did it really well the other night. Took his time and picked the right pass to Sesko. Really slowed the game down. I've noticed he's done this quite a lot. And I mean, his general crossing ability has come on ridiculous. We saw it again at Chelsea. I mean, he's always been good, but I think he's really shown us a deeper value of what he can give to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, just last one on the open play thing. I watched Bruno's 19 as well. Like I was doing a little bit of research the other day with the Henry 20. I've not watched De Bruyne's because I don't need to. I know he was out of his mind that season. Yeah. What I noticed this year as well, obviously with the open play argument. So Bruno, interestingly enough, against Liverpool, you remember the game. Harry Maguire scores a winner in the last minute. Hopefully more of the same on Sunday. Bruno takes a corner at Anfield, right? It goes in. Liverpool defend the corner, I think. It comes straight back out to Bruno. He takes a first-time volleyed cross back in and Maguire heads it in. Now, that's open play, but it came from like a corner that got headed away. It was the same action. Yeah. It's like there's not a lot of difference between, look, that was a volleyed cross. I understand that was technically very skillful from Fernandes. But you have these moments where what's the difference between a cross and a corner? One's open play, one's a set piece. There's not a lot. If anything, Christian, an open play cross, there's less bodies in the box. It's probably easier to get a good chance out of, with Sesko. So that's my last thing on the open play assist. Let's talk about Bruno as you mentioned there, how the game has slowed down for him maybe this season. And I do think it's been my favourite Bruno season, not because of the stats, because I haven't felt the main thing for me with Fernandes has been his reading of the game in tough moments for Man United over the last 6 years, and there's been plenty of them, has been he's not read situations where it's not the time for a Hollywood pass. And that's something this season I've not found myself getting frustrated with. I noticed a lot of his assists. You mentioned the one the other night to Sesko, very similar to his Mbumo assist against you boys, is he runs the whole length of the pitch with the ball, give or take. Like he's a decent ball carrier, and he runs the angle. You watch Bruno against City, he widened the angle. He took the City centre back a yard the wrong way, then slipped the reverse pass. He did the same thing to Sesko on Monday. These
Alex,
are
do you think his focus this season on not being your top scorer or not being obsessed with goal getting has actually made him a better footballer? Because I'm telling you what, against the other night when you were playing and he plays in Sesko, he would have gone for goal. The assist record is in sight and he wants it, so he plays the ball. But I think he would have always shot predominantly in that situation when the pass was right, because Sesko bags. He waits the pass perfectly, Sesko finishes. Do you not think it has actually improved him as a player?
I do think it has, yes. I think it's given him something to go for as well in a season of nothingness that we've... say nothingness, that's because of how crap everyone else has been and how amazing Carrick's done, to be perfectly honest, because it should be, these stakes should be high, but you're right, they're not, because we're already in Champions League with 4 games to go. But you're right, it's given Bruno a focus, hasn't it? It's like, okay, I do a little bit more of this, the team wins, I get my assist record, everyone goes home happy in the summer. I do think that it has given him I think he's always gone for the big Hollywood passes as well, and we've seen less of them. You remember the Cunha goal against Villa a month ago, 6 weeks ago? It wasn't a 60-yard bomb. It was like a 30-yard through ball. It was more of a De Bruyne assist than a what we would deem a Bruno Rashford assist.
He's not cut it out of his game. Yeah, he's not cut it out of his game completely. But yeah, he's reined it in and he's utilising it a lot better. I think he's playing more sensible. But mate, there is one thing. I mean, you've sort of touched on it yourself with your explanation here, but I just wanted to hit you with something. So I don't know if you recall this, Alex. Obviously, we've been doing the channel now for over a year. Now, at the end of last season, we did a video of Keep of the squad, or ones you want to sell, or ones you want to delete fucking memory of, right? Now, your sell list was quite big, mate. And do you know who was on that list? Bruno Fernandes was on that list, okay? So you said, look, I think we need to... It's been shit with him, even though, look, he's given us a lot, offensively, but you thought it could have been better for Manchester United to move forward without this guy. Now, at the end of this season and looking that he could get his hands on possibly the PFA, and he's probably going to get that record, where do you now sit on this?
Yeah, no, I think this version of Fernandes is my favourite version of him, and I think he can stay for me for another 2 years, as far as I'm concerned. I actually think the older he gets, the better he gets, because he's not got that petulance to his game in terms of how reckless he is. He's still obviously a whinger, and we know about that. We saw that on Monday. But I do think that because of his patience in a game now and his ability to keep possession a little bit better, I think at the end of last season, I remember the YouTube video. And I think we had the 100 mil Saudi offer at the time.
Yeah, that's correct.
We had a manager who didn't play number 10. He played those inside fucking 10s, which Fernandes definitely isn't, by the way. Before people say he's a 10, he was not. And we signed Cunha and Mbeumo to play those two roles. So it was... but I don't want a 100 mil offer going to waste to play Bruno in DM with Casemiro. I have had my crux with Bruno over the years. Like I said, when you're 3-0 down at home to Liverpool and you're still spamming balls over the top to Rashford, I've got issues, right? You're a leader. You're meant to be the best player. He's not faultless. This year, I've not had much bad to say about Fernandes.
So do you just think, Alex, since we made that video, obviously, you've seen a lot of maturity to his game this season. You've seen less of the petulance, less of the stupidity in terms of managing in-game.
I think that the midfield role that Amorim played him in, I think it's made him a better footballer. And
that's an interesting point, and do you know what? I think there's something to be said about that, yeah.
I think that, look, you're in a two-man midfield with a aging Casemiro who, like you perfectly said, despite the goals, struggles to pass 10 yards for long stretches of games. He also can't cover the grass. So it was a big responsibility on Fernandes. And you're also keeping Kobbie Mainoo out the team that everybody wanted to play. So it was a big thing for Bruno to be as good as he could in that role. And I said to you, we'll be bottom half with that midfield. We were actually 6th when Amorim got sacked. So, look, it's obviously got better with Bruno as the 10 and Carrick's playing a 4-2-3-1. But it wasn't as bad as I said. I mean, I said after that preseason game, Bruno and Casemiro will have us in a fucking bottom half fight. That's testament to Fernandes, because he played the two-man midfield role better than I thought. And then when you move into the 10, you've now got this blend of what he became for that 12-month, 6-month period of Amorim, plus the creativity that he's always had. And I honestly think it's meshed into what I think is a PFA player of the season this year. And I honestly look at the next 2 years of Fernandes, 32 years old, 33-year-old Bruno, and I think the patience to his game that he's developed, I think it could be the best years of his United career. Okay, the 30-goal seasons are probably gone, but like you said, United are winning at a higher clip than we ever have right now. I know there's anomalies to that, and we're one game a week, and Carrick, is it a new manager bounce? Obviously, next season will be telling, but I do think there's something in it where Fernandes is taking on the role of creator, and United aren't suffering because of it. Whereas when he was a goal scorer, maybe it wasn't the best thing for the team. Maybe it was your 25-point-a-night scorer for the worst team in NBA. Someone's got to score the points. Was it a case of that? Now he's getting stats and we're winning, and I'm chuffed with him. I think he deserves the award, Christian. But honestly, I'm completely open to anybody else in the comments. Like, I bet Arsenal fans think Rice. I bet City fans might think Haaland, although you've been balanced with that.
That's probably a good way to transition. So the guy that I've just put on the screen now, Mr. Erling Haaland. Okay, so this season, if we're looking at his stats, he's actually got 7 assists. He's got 24 goals in 32 games. So, I mean, this bad season that he's had, or, this down season, she's just fucking mental that we're calling it that. He's still got good numbers. And the reason, what I was saying before, Alex, is why I'm not ready to wave the white flag and say give it Bruno just yet. Because for me, I do think it holds a lot of weight in what the team is actually doing that you're playing for. Now, look, we've seen it in the past, Alex. Gareth Bale's won this award. Luis Suarez, like we mentioned before. Luis Suarez did score 31 goals and got 11 assists, though. You know what I mean? He made it physically impossible to give it somebody else, even if you were choking the league or not. Now, I think Erling Haaland has got an opportunity in these final games. We saw a big dog moment against Arsenal where he's up in this battle with Gabriel and he's fucking ragdolling the guy, throwing him about, bitching him, scores, puts Arsenal in the shit, and now we're in this goal difference race till the end of the season. Now, Erling Haaland is absolutely critical in that goal difference race. You've got the best number 9 in world football, in my opinion. Now, if he grabs the ball with both horns here, and he goes and wins us that title by scoring a lot of goals, I think you've got to take that into account and seriously consider Erling Haaland for the award.
Okay. I'm absolutely fine with Haaland winning it, by the way. I ain't going to lose any sleep over this. Assuming he ends the season with, even if it's, you got 5 games left, right, Christian?
Yeah, I think if he gets another 6 goals.
I'd even probably hedge 3 in 5, 4 in 5. I've no problem with it. If it's 6 in 5 and you win it, I mean, he gets my vote. Although I do think history deserves to be recognised with a record break, which probably will happen. But if we're talking, is he on 24 goals now? You said
24 goals. Yeah,
24 goals. If he scores 5, he'll end up on 29 goals with a league win. I mean, it's hard to deny a bloke that. Here's my counter argument. Manchester City will win the league on 85 points this year, right? Relatively low total for this era of football, certainly for City's era of football.
Yeah.
City can do it because Arsenal is shit and they've bottled it, right? If you was against a Liverpool, let's just say Liverpool, or if Arsenal had anything about them and they say won it on 88, City lose it, say you do win out, you lose it by 3 points to Arsenal. I think we would have a season review and you would point the finger at Haaland to a degree why you've not won it. And this is devil's advocate. In that January to mid-March spell, Erling Haaland didn't score in, I think, 8 or 9 Prem games, and you dropped points in 7 of them. I've got a 7-game spell here from Erling Haaland, and this is my counter argument. And if you win it, it's all forgotten about, all good. However, if Arsenal win it, or Arsenal did win it, i.e. that they didn't slip up against Bournemouth, Sunderland, Chelsea, Brighton, United, Spurs, Forest, West Ham, you drew 6 and lost 1 of those games in a 2.5-month spell. Erling Haaland did not score in any. He got 1 assist at Tottenham, and he was particularly poor in the derby. That is a 7-game spell where we get to the end of the season and City are second, and I guarantee you're going to go, where was my big dog in those 7 games? 3 of them are relegation teams. That's what Haaland... Christian, Haaland doesn't just score against your Forest, your West Hams, your Spurs. He pulverises them.
Yeah, he eats them, yeah.
So for him to draw a blank in them 3, plus Chelsea, plus Sunderland, plus Brighton, plus United, by the way, we were fucking... Everyone thought we were going to get dicked in that game. To not score in those games, he scores against Arsenal. I think he deserves massive credit for that. That is a huge moment. The pressure was on, and he has delivered in that. But if Arsenal didn't put City in a position to win the league, I think Haaland would carry some blame. What do you say about that?
Yeah, so, look, you make some fair points, but I think, look, I wouldn't be coming to you at the end of the season and blaming us not winning the league on an Erling Haaland bad spell, especially when the guy is probably still going to finish on a minimum of probably 27 goals this year in the Prem alone. I mean, he's got 24 in 32. I can't be coming at the guy for that. I think you've got to look at we obviously went and invested in Semenyo. We knew we needed goals in them wide areas, Alex. The goals between Marmoush, Savinho and Doku are absolutely pathetic. I'm looking at that. I'm blaming the club. I'm not even blaming them players, by the way. I just think they're shit. But why City knew this problem and they didn't fix that in the summer, and we went into a season of just relying on Haaland, because you've basically gone to Erling Haaland, you need to score 34 goals this year, mate, because he would have done. Because if we didn't sign Semenyo, Alex, that guy's chipped in immensely since he's signed. I mean, I think Gay is level on goals with Doku and Savinho. Probably not far off Marmoush. I mean, that's just fucking mental. Now, so I wouldn't.
Right.
I wouldn't be going at Haaland, but I do hear your point, and it is fair to say it. I just think Erling Haaland here, he has a massive opportunity. Now, Bruno could break the record, and I do agree with you that, it does deserve to be noticed and appreciated as well, because Kevin De Bruyne and Thierry Henry, these are some household names you're putting yourself amongst. That is ridiculous. And I feel like that's where you're a bit annoyed, because people are trying to take something away by bringing the open play thing into the argument. So I don't particularly mind what you said. But I think Erling Haaland, if he goes and brings a Premier League home, and it is due to his goals and his performances, specifically against Arsenal, the team that is also challenging for the title, for me, I edge him. That's my only take. But if you want me to be completely honest, Alex, an overall balanced season, Bruno should get it now. Because for me, Haaland has not balanced this and been good enough. Like you say, that stretch was really poor. And Bruno has been your guy you've turned to every single week this year. So if you are being honest about a balanced year, Bruno takes it for me. I just think the way the Premier League could weight the argument over these next few matches, that could make a big difference. But I suppose we'll see.
Yeah, no, I think it's really fair, isn't it? Because if you look at those 7 games, so he's on 24 goals now. If he delivered in 6 of them, 5 of them, say he got 7 goals in those games, he would be in the 30s now. So I do hear you where the expectation of Erling Haaland is 30, like you said, 34 plus. Yeah. That's a lot to put on his shoulders. You're allowed a dry spell as a striker. I'm nitpicking. I'm doing what people do with Bruno. I'm giving you a different look. I appreciate your opinion. Last one on this. Games played. How do you feel about it? Now, this is. I do think there's something in this. However, strictly speaking, Christian, this is PFA Premier League Player of the Season, right?
Yeah.
That does not include cup competitions. There is no weight attached. Although I think Gareth Bale might have got that.
Yeah.
Because he scored a hat-trick against Inter.
Yeah.
But how can you not separate the fact that Bruno's going to play 36, 37 games this season? Haaland and Rice are going to be
north of 54,
55. Yeah. Rice, probably out of the 3, you can give a lot more to. Haaland, yes, he is going to rack the games up, but he's a number 9. He does less coverage than a centre mid, much like Rice. I think there's a legitimate argument there where certainly Rice and Haaland can go, we've been banged up some weekends. We've been. Yeah. I bet you Rice now he's got a game tomorrow of the Arsenal.
But Alex, right. So you are right in bringing it up, but I'd say you're right in bringing it up for Erling Haaland, because Erling Haaland will go, that dry spell, he could put that down to the amount of games and that his legs are fucked. Now, that's fair enough. Declan Rice is not at the level regardless. He is not in this conversation with Bruno Fernandes and Haaland, because you give that guy more games. The games where he was playing well or being their world beater wasn't impressing me enough to say anything anyway. The fact he's had a little bit of a bad spell now and he's not looked as influential, that's just a different thing altogether. In terms of his general ability, Alex, and what he's done this season, I don't put him anywhere near this conversation. I think he's he's benefiting from this because of Arsenal's situation right now. And look, yes, he has been one of the big figures for them, but not enough for a PFA Player of the Year. I mean, if you were going to go back in history, Alex, he would go down as one of the worst winners. If you were going to go and look at PFA players that have won this, and you look at their seasons respectively, Declan Rice would be the worst, or one of.
I totally agree. Yeah, no, I totally do agree. I just, it's more of a general argument against Fernandes that he wasn't in a war with Atletico 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to say now is, I bet you Declan Rice is there, Arsenal training ground today.
Yeah.
And he's sore, man. He's going to be sore. I don't know, Haaland's had games at the Bernabeu. Then you've got to come to maybe Old Trafford. I can't remember how the fixtures work for Haaland in that dry spell. Yeah. Bruno has not had that. Bruno finishes a game on a Saturday, Sunday, or fucking Monday. We've had a million of them. And he gets a week off. Bruno's at Carrington. Massage. Yeah. Also, a little bit of practicing on that training pitch with Casemiro and that relationship. I do think they're fair points, but history should be recognised. And it's a unique situation that Bruno, I think, has maximised. But I do agree. I do think there's a chance Haaland can certainly look. I mean, we know what his goal scoring abilities are. I mean, we're talking 5 games, he could get 7. There's no.
Well,
doubt.
mate, we are one game. You look at, we've got a couple of games at home, and they're the key ones. Yeah. I know Palace is one, Brentford another, and I think that if he is capable of getting 4 goals in one game, now if he does that, and then we win the league on goal difference, for me, he is massively in with a shot. But I take nothing away from Bruno. Look, and I'll reiterate what I said at the start of the video, Alex. I've got no issue with him winning it, even to the point of if we do go on and win it and Haaland finishes on 30 goals this season, I'm still not going to have a huge problem because I think for what this guy has done for your club and for as long as he has done it, and this season to come up with these performances in a position that's quite foreign to him in recent history, and I feel like he's added a lot more to his game. Look, I can't begrudge it, and 20 assists, man. I mean, and by the way, he could surpass it. He could surpass it by a couple. So, if he actually raises the bar significantly, if he finishes on 23 assists, that's ridiculous. I don't really think we can be giving it anybody else. So, it's an interesting one, mate. But I suppose let's look at these key weeks ahead. Bruno has literally just got this record to go at. United look pretty safe in terms of, obviously, you've got Liverpool weekend, but I think you're pretty safe for Europe now. He can just hammer that record. We know he's hungry for it. Look at it the other night. So let's get it, man.
No, I totally agree. I think that as well, there's probably a bit of voting fatigue with Haaland, which is going to go against him. That's not fair, obviously, but it's very common in American sports as well. Like when somebody wins the MVP in basketball, it becomes difficult to win another because people are bored of voting for him. Yes, he was good. He was great last year. He was great last year. So we become numb to it, but that's not how it should go. You should look at everything in a vacuum, obviously. But no, sure thing. I think I'm really intrigued how this is going to play out. Obviously, the stakes are lower now because of how shit the Champions League chase has been, other than Man United, who have been pretty much, you can't say flawless, but over the 14 games Carrick took charge, I can't believe we are basically about to lock 3rd up from where we were. So, but like you said, it's given the team something to go for as well, and that pressure of if Bruno passes it to you, you better fucking score, mate. Just last thing, do you think we're on 20 assists with the game to go? United get a penalty. Bruno does the Messi Suarez penalty where he lays it off.
Mate, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. He looks very hungry for this record. I could tell that the other night with Sesko, so I wouldn't put it past him.
You know what's going to happen. Bruno will try and fucking lay it off and we'll balls it up.
Ahmad, do not. Well, I'll tell you what, if he's rolling it to Ahmad, Alex, he will hit both posts. So honest, if he is doing it, mate, give it the right guy.
Yeah, who? Casemiro?
Casemiro dive edit.
Chip the fucking pen up and Casemiro fly in, man.
Oh, that would be insane. What a way to break it.
Because Messi and Suarez made it look like, how can you just never balls this up? But I promise you, just shout out to Arsenal, by the way. Henry and Perez balls one up.
It was against us.
It was against you,
yeah. It was against us.
Fucking 10 to 2 feet Perez missed the he caught it with his studs and Henry ran past it.
Oh, jeez.
Mate, let us know in the comments what you think on this race. Obviously, me and Christine have homed in on the guys we believe should be 1 and 2. If I'm sure there might be, if you think Declan Rice, who has been a favourite for this award all season, is either still a worthy winner, or is at least should be in the conversation. Clearly, we don't agree with that, but let us know in the comments. We want to hear from you. So
well, I'm sure we'll have a few, Alex. Listening. Mate, I've seen a couple saying for Mr. Ballon d'Or earlier on in the season. They've gone a little bit more quiet now, but yeah, I genuinely saw Ballon d'Or shouts. So.
Fuck me, I thought Dembele winning it was bad.
Tell me about it.
Okay, thank you for listening, everyone. Appreciate it. Let us know in the comments what you think. Hit a like, subscribe. Thank you for supporting the channel. We massively appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one.